one of the great advantages of the Australian and New Zealand Fellowship is that it can be the basis for a wide variety of careers, some of which may be in private practice, where essentially you're in an office-based environment and working pretty much one-on-one with patients and without a great deal of liaison with other teams or services, to the other end of the spectrum where one might be working as an administrator, working with a wide variety of different managers and people from different disciplines and liaising with government, through to working in research and working with universities and research specialists from other areas, so as well as the kind of public psychiatry milieu where team working is integral to the whole service.
There's an enormous range of areas that psychiatrists can be involved these days. We know that people in rural, remote areas are desperately in need of good, compassionate psychiatrists. We know that within the Indigenous community there's also a very great need. The elderly, young people, adolescents, people in the private system, people in the public system, there's no end to the opportunities where people can make an enormous difference to people's lives. And people who tend to have been neglected to date, so I think there's a real opportunity for people to make a big difference.
Rural psychiatry is very much consultation liaison psychiatry, except that the community that I'm working with are the community of health workers and mental health workers, but most particularly the community of the people and their families. So I have the capacity in rural psychiatry to work very much in a strengths model where I'm not only identifying the needs of the person that comes to me, but I'm identifying their strengths and the strengths in the community around them, and we're working with the strengths.
I think the ideal for a psychiatrist would be to have an experience of both, to actually do some work in the city, then do some work in a country or rural or regional area, and then think about that and how that best moulds their practice. They might find that, no, I want to continue to practice in the city, but gee, I've learned some valuable stuff by the challenges that they meet out there in the country, and vice versa.
You will work with nurses, you'll work with social workers, you'll work with OT, you'll work with families in a far more horizontal way rather than this vertical distribution of status. And I respond terribly well to that. I really enjoy working with everybody to help somebody who's in strife, who's got mental illness.
Well, I guess I come from a family perspective, having had two boys who have experienced mental health problems. So I look at psychiatry as the linchpin of any recovery possibilities for people like my boys. Psychiatrists are the most expertly trained people in this area, and they are the ones who are best placed to actually centralise the planning of care, so that if you don't have a good psychiatrist in the system, the whole thing falls over. You have a whole range of other allied care, but at the end of the day, psychiatry as a psychiatrist practices is the central platform of any recovery plan for people who experience mental illness.
There is a wide range of training opportunities even within the profession, and subsequently you can work in many different settings, including private rooms, hospitals, community centres, schools, general hospital wards, special units, residential homes and even prisons.